Hey guys, welcome back. In this section, we're gonna be working with gradient maps, which I'm so excited about. I love gradient maps, they're really cool. Basically, they take the lights and the darks in your image and map them to certain colors along a gradient. Now you can load gradients, like within Photoshop, comes with a bunch of gradients. I'll show you how to load a bunch of gradients in, or you can make your own gradients and I'll show you how to do this. It's super cool for creating graphic style images. So let's go ahead and show you how to do it. So here in Photoshop, I'm gonna go to our gradient map.jpg. There we go, let's open it up. It's opening through Camera Raw for some reason, not sure why. Just hit open, that's totally cool. And F for full screen. So this image is really great because we have like pretty well-defined darks and lights. Basically, we're gonna be able to map these dark colors here to any color we choose, and then a gradient through the light colors as well. So let's go ahead and grab an adjustment layer. We're gonna go to gradient map and let's hit OK. And we can see by default, it's just gonna load whatever gradient that you have chosen by default. So let's go ahead and click on that gradient and kind of show you how it works. So here you can see yours may look a little bit different than mine. It's just gonna load on whatever gradient you have. In fact, let's go right here so we all look the same. Let's just go to black to white. Okay, so it's 3 in your gradient editor. Okay, so here in the black to white, you can see it's taking black on the left and fading to white. So whatever's going on in my image, the darker areas are gonna be black and the lighter areas will be white. Okay, pretty simple there. Now, this gradient starts off really simple. If I click on the next gradient, you can see we have a very different image. The darks in my image are now red and it's kind of fade through, and the lights are this green color. Super interesting. Let's go to the next one. The darks in my image are purple and fading through to orange. So it's completely maps all of the lights and darks of your image to these colors. Really, really cool start. Now, there are a bunch of gradients that are preloaded into Photoshop. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to load a bunch more. So to get more gradients in, let's just click and drag. See, I've already loaded a bunch in, but I'll show you how to do that. Just click here on your little thumb wheel. What is that? A little gear. It's for preferences. Click there, and then you can see you have all these other guys. So let's go to pastels. That looks great. Click there, and then I want to hit append. It's just going to add it to my list. Okay, so let's hit append there. And it's gonna put it on the very bottom. So here we have our pastels that it just loaded in here on the very bottom. So let's go ahead and click on one of our pastels. And now, I like that one, it's pretty nice. Now you're gonna see we have a little bit more of a complex gradient. Instead of just 2 colors, we've got a few colors. Here we go, we're getting even more complex. Let's see, which one, let's see. I like that one, that looks great. So our darks in this case are being mapped to this yellow color, okay? Going to pink, there we go, and on to purple. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and hit OK there, and we're gonna say, all right, that gradient map looks great. Now, I actually wanna inverse this or reverse this. Not a problem, you can do that right here in the gradient map itself. So I'm gonna click on reverse, and then it just flips your gradient map, okay? So it'll just flip it really easy. Okay, and dither just adds a little bit of like dots in your gradient to help like blend colors if you need it. All right, so reverse is really easy. Now let's go ahead and click there, and you can see it's reversed our gradient map. And here I can still go in and choose my colors. So if you want to change, I'm going to click off this reverse so it doesn't confuse us, because your darks are going to be mapped on the left and your lights are going to be mapped on the right. Okay, so if I want to change any of these colors at any time, very easy to do. Simply click on the color, and then you'll get your little color guy here. Click there, and then I can make this like a darker yellow. Ooh, so nice. Nice dark yellow there. Let's hit OK there. So I've changed that color. Now, I can also change the location. Let's go ahead and click on this color, and I want to change this one as well. We'll go with a nice dark purple on that one. All right, looks good. Now I can change the location of this color by dragging this to the right or dragging this to the left, and it's going to change whatever light values are associated with whatever's going on in my gradient. That's what's going to get those colors. So I can click and drag and move these around. Now, you can also just delete these if you want. You can click on one and hit this delete button. It's gonna go away. Or you can click and drag it straight down and it'll go away. And we'll make that one go away. And then we just have a black to there, which is kind of fun. Now, let's go ahead and change this color again. So color, I'm gonna say, ooh, you know what? Let's have you be, that looks nice. And then I wanna add one here in the middle. So let's go ahead and click there and we'll make this nice and purpley. All right, and then I'm like, you know what, this dark color, I don't wanna be as dark, so let's go ahead and click there, and we're gonna go back to my blue range and just make that a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit less saturated. All right, that looks pretty good. And of course, you wanna get in here and do your fine tuning, right? Ooh, what a nice gradient we've made. Pretty fun that you can actually create your own gradients here within your gradient editor and apply that to your image with a gradient map. So once you've made your really cool gradient that you're super duper proud of, go ahead and give it a name. Aaron Cool Guy Gradient. Look at that. And then hit this new button right there, and then it's gonna show up on your gradients. So there we can see, I can just click back and I've got that at any time. Now I've got a ton of other gradients here that are already loaded up. You can remove gradients from your list very easily. Just hold Alt or Option. Okay, it's gonna give you a little scissors icon and then you just click on them and it'll cut them away. But don't worry, it doesn't delete them from your computer or whatever. You can always get them back by going to that little gear up on the top. So I'm just gonna delete. Kind of fun here, right? Say, yeah, I didn't make these, get them out of here. I only want gradients that I made because I'm the coolest gradient maker there is. No one ever said that. All right, but let's say you want to share some gradients with your friends. All right, so I wouldn't suggest clicking on save right now because what it would actually do is it would save all of these gradients and export all of those. So what I would do, let's hit okay. Let's say you're super happy with this gradient. You're like, man, you gotta put this on your images as gradient map. It is just gonna be so cool. So you wanna save it, go to edit, down to presets and over your preset manager, okay? And here's where you can see all of your different presets, brushes, swatches, gradients, all that fun stuff. Go to your gradients and then you just wanna click on the actual gradient you wanna save. See, it's got a little blue around it when I click there. And you can hold shift and click on a few of them. You know, you don't have to click on just one. You can click on, you know, you can save all those if you want. But, excuse me, in this case, I'll just click on that one right there. And this, I'm in my preset manager, super important. So just click on that one and then hit save set. Okay, and I'll just put this in here and we'll just create a gradient. There we go. So let's hit done. Now, if you want to send that to your friends, just email them that file and then they can go in here and just hit load and they'll just click on Aaron Cool Guy Gradient.grd, hit open, and it's gonna load that gradient right there on the bottom, which is really, really cool. So the gradient map, I hope you understand by now, it's super fun. One thing that I do want to point out though is that this is really cool for making certain types of like graphic type images, but I encourage you to lower your opacity on this as well because you can color grade your images beautifully with this as well. Let's simply lower down our opacity and now we're going to see we've got a mix of what we did with the color grade, but we're still seeing some of the original image through it as well. Okay, so play around with that and you're going to get some spectacular results. I fell in love with the gradient map and I think you will too. All right, thanks so much guys. We'll see you in the next video.